Hey everybody, welcome back to Rooted in Faith. It's been
Oh my gosh. If you haven't read the book, there's going to be a couple spoilers here. So,
Hey everybody, welcome back to Rooted in Faith, and it's been a little bit, so we're a little rusty and still trying to kind of get everything worked out. The kinks worked out on doing a podcast, but we are passionate about sharing what we learn, and we have a really cool episode that we've been wanting to do for a while, and it's just really amazing every time we talk about it, and I've enjoyed it, and we've talked to missionaries, and it's just a really cool thing that you don't really think about.
well, and this one shouldn't be too long of an episode, but it starts with a question, and it's relevant to recent events here. Why does the Quorum of 12 have 14 apostles?
What?
Do you know why?
I have no idea. I do, but I'm going to say I have no idea now.
Every time she learns, it's for the first time.
It's the first time.
Every time.
Every time.
All right. So what we want to do is we're going to show why we have 14 apostles today.
It's really cool.
And I always wondered this, even from when I was a kid. It didn't make sense. We always reference the quorum of the 12, but it's 14. We have the prophet, 2 counselors, and then 12 apostles. But when the prophet passes away, the counselors rejoin the quorum of the 12. So it's really a quorum of 14 apostles. And I always thought, well, the quorum of the 12, that is an example based on the original 12 apostles who were Jesus's disciples.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense.
It's like, well, it's the restored church in the latter day. Mm-hmm. We should have a quorum of the 12 just like he did. But why do we have 14? Well, turns
Seems
out
like extra.
It does seem like extra, yeah. But as it turns out, it is modeled after the original 12 apostles. And we're going to go over that real quick. And then hopefully you learn something new. Leave us some comments if you like this one. So, can you name Jesus's original 12 apostles? I'll give you a minute. Just kidding. Just pause the video. So, if you go to the New Testament, who were the original 12 apostles? Let's read them off here. We've got Simon, who became Peter. So we'll call him Peter. You have Peter, Andrew, James, Zebedee, John Zebedee, Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, Matthew, James, Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas. So there's our 12.
Every time we go through these, I think I'm getting a little bit better at remembering them. There's a lot of names, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of names. It gets a little bit easier each time. So those are the 12. We got Peter, Andrew, James, John, Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, Matthew, 2nd James, Thaddeus, 2nd Simon, and Judas. Now, if you haven't read the book, there's going to be a couple spoilers here. So, Judas...
Should I put a spoiler alert?
Yeah, you should. Judas, he kills himself. So, here's a spoiler. He's the one that betrays Jesus. He kills himself, and if you don't know that story, it's really fascinating. He betrays Jesus.
And there's a couple ways he dies, which you should read.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's kind of interesting.
Depending on the gospel, I
Shocking.
think John took it really hard because that was a brutal death that he had in the Gospel of John. But so he kills himself, and so that leaves us with 11 apostles. Well, he gets replaced by a guy named Matthias, which is fascinating. Now, if we're just going off of how many apostles were there in the book, we're not going simultaneous like we are today, but it is interesting. In our Gospels, well, there are more than 12 apostles. We just named Matthias as number 13. Now, in all those names that I read, who did I not name? And
Is it?
It's well, don't say it.
Okay.
You know it.
Okay.
You know it.
Okay.
But it always got me. The first time I looked through this, like, oh, who are we missing? Well, it's the guy that wrote like this much of the New Testament.
Which I think is really interesting that,
It's fascinating.
yeah, that he wrote that much, considering there was the other apostles.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
just the way the history
Just
goes.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he ended up writing that much, and he was the only apostle that was not well, possibly Matthias. I'd have to look up my history on this, but as far as I know, this apostle did not have any interactions with Jesus pre resurrection. So it's Paul, the Apostle Paul. He is number 14. There are 14 apostles in the New Testament Gospels, which is fascinating. Now we could say, well, Judas doesn't count, but he's an original 12.
Yeah.
Which you replace him with Matthias, there's 13.
Yeah.
Add in Paul, 14 apostles. So we have a Savior, 14 apostles. Today we have a prophet, 2 counselors, and a quorum of the 12. Well, that's a prophet and 14 apostles. Now, this is my favorite part. That is possibly modeled after something even older that goes
This is
back
crazy.
even way further back.
It's really cool.
So now we're going to jump back to the older dispensation, the Old Testament. Can you think of something that we had 12 of? Now I'm going to pause it. No, you're going to pause it. I'm going to keep going. I don't have time to pause it. You pause it. What do we have 12 of? If you said tribes, yes, we have 12 tribes of Israel.
So crazy.
Can you name them? So the tribes, we've got Jacob. He's the patriarch. Gets his name changed to Israel. And tribes, we got Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, Benjamin. So those are our 12. Reuben, he was the maker of that delicious sandwich. Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, Benjamin. Lots of stories in the Old Testament about all of these brothers and things they did. But if you're familiar with the story of Joseph, and they go to Egypt, and that's where the Hebrews enter Egypt because of a famine. And then what happens? Now, if for the LDS folks out there, any of us that have had our patriarchal blessing, what names did I not mention? Because I think a lot of you know.
Can I say?
No, you can't say.
Oh.
She can't say. She already knows. She's going to ruin it for you. Spoilers.
Okay, sorry.
So here,
Spoiler alert.
so here's where it gets interesting. Hebrews enter Egypt. They are there for like 400 years, and then Moses helps them leave. Well, it's interesting. Joseph's 2 sons, we have Ephraim and Manasseh, and they somewhat get absorbed into, not absorbed, but maybe adopted into the family, into Jacob's family. And so it's interesting, depending on which scripture we're reading, Joseph kind of gets replaced by his sons. There's not really a birthright of Joseph, but there is of Ephraim and Manasseh. And then, but that would give us, well, let's see, we had 12 minus Joseph, that's 11 plus 2. So that leaves us with 13 tribes. Well, there's another tribe that did not get a birthright, and that's specific to some of the priesthood. So here, I'll let you answer this one.
Okay.
Which tribe did not get a birthright because they are helping with the priesthood?
Levi.
See, she gets an A+.
Yay.
So the tribe of Levi, which is very, very fascinating. We're going to have to do another podcast on some of this.
Yeah, I think the Levi,
The
the tribe of Levi is really interesting.
Well, and if you watched our Leviathan podcast, you maybe got a piece of this, but The root word of where the name Levi comes from means to be attached. Well, the tribe of Levi gets attached to Aaron with Moses. They get attached to Aaron to help with the priesthood. They become the priestly class as far as the tribes are concerned.
Well, it's almost like tying all the tribes together by having the tribe of Levi in all of the tribes.
Yeah, they are dispersed amongst all the tribes. So they're the priests. They're dispersed with all the tribes, and that's also why they're one of the. When you have the 10 lost tribes, Levi is not one of them because it's also down with in the land of Judah. So it's very fascinating. A lot of history there, but
Yeah.
okay, you take out the birthright of Levi, we're back to 12 tribes. That would leave you Reuben, Simeon, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Ephraim, and Manasseh. There's 12 tribes. So what I find interesting is we've got in the Old Testament, we have a patriarch, that's Joseph or Israel. We have a patriarch and 14 tribes, or 14 sons, and it's really 12 sons and 2 grandsons, but 14 tribes. In the New Testament, we have the Messiah, we have Jesus Christ, and 14 apostles. And in the latter day, we have a prophet and 14 apostles.
It's so cool. Like,
yeah, it seems like
amazing.
we're modeled after the New Testament, and the New Testament's modeled somewhat after the Old Testament.
Yeah.
It is totally fascinating.
Way cool.
Now, the part we haven't done, which might be the follow-up podcast here, we need to dive into Revelations, because there's a lot of imagery there.
Yes.
I think 12 is a pretty important number there.
Yeah, I agree.
But the number 7, and this is just more fascination, the number 7 is the number of what?
Completion.
Number of completion. Well, 14 is 7 plus 7. So is it more complete? I don't know.
Maybe.
I might be reaching there,
know.
but
Yeah.
that's all we got. That's today's podcast. That's why we have 14 apostles in our quorum of 12.
I just thought that was so cool when we were diving into that and figuring it out. It was just really cool.
That was fascinating.
So,
Okay.
like, subscribe, leave us a comment if you have a topic that you want us to cover. Just leave us a comment about it.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Thanks
we're
for watching.
interested in everything.
Yep. Coming in podcast season for us.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next time.